Hey folks, this is BestInSlot and welcome back to Horror Park. After last episode's inaugural episode where we kind of set up our main street area, everything is lovely, jubbly, happy fun times. I've done a little bit more decoration work since then, nothing excessive, nothing over the top, just threw some more trees in, threw some more little decos in. We've got some little, if we nip over here, you'll see we've got some sauropods here guarding our new They've been cheering all day. It's been really annoying me. We've got our sauropods. There's an Alamosaurus hiding behind there, and there's a Camarasaurus over here. That's a little nod to Horror Park 1.0, where Horror Park 1.0 had a few sauropods kind of hidden behind things around the area, just so you saw dinosaurs when you first entered the park. This time we've got the Mosa, we've got the Quetzal instead of a dinosaur, but the sauropods are still there, and just adding a little bit of flavour to the area. Today, though, the horror begins, and I've had an idea. I want to thank you all for the suggestions and stuff, but I have had a bit of a thought. I thought we'd do something a little bit different. Trying to emphasize that video game nature that I suppose that we were talking about last time around, where I want it to feel like a video game. That will require some play acting and some role play and some pretending along the way, but my hope is that basically by the end what we can do is make like a walkthrough video that resembles what would look like if someone played a horror game. It's going to require editing and stuff in post, yada yada yada, but it should feel like you're watching me play Jurassic World, the horror game. Okay? So, first things first, I've added a new wall in here. This is kind of the signifier that you're entering a new area. I just want to show you, I've done a little thing. You walk through. You're like, oh, okay, another part of the park. Lovely stuff. This is a few of these walls stuck together. And you walk through and then dun dun dun, Mr. DNA's there, the harbinger of doom, as he so often is in reality. And my plan for this bit is pretty simple. So, what we need is, in our decorations, we're going to use one of these fantastic ones from, I believe, John, who has made all this stuff with the toy shop, all this Jurassic Park trespasser stuff, and one of them is entrance wall closed. So it's like it's a shame where the shadow is. It'd be nice if it was in the other direction, but I feel like I always say that. Like, that is such a constant in my life. Is that the right way? Let's say yes. Let's say yes. I'm just going to plop this down over here. And the idea is simply that this would be the place you go, this would be the direction you head in to get to the rest of the park. Yeah, it's just Burrow Highs or whatever, but that's fine. Nobody cares about that. And this would be the direction you head in to get to the rest of the park, but... Okay, that's clearly not in the right place. Let me just shift that over a little bit. But as you can see, it has been closed off. Okay, I've gone back and forth on how I was going to do this area over here. You can see I've been messing around with some other walls and stuff over there. None of them are quite doing what I want them to do. So the idea over here is that you're walking along, la-di-da-da-da, time of your life, as Green Day would say, and then the area that you're meant to go, the sort of the logical next point of call for the park, just happens to be... Why are you tilted that way? I mean, I'm tilted every way, but... the next logical port of call that you would usually take is shut down for whatever reason. Maybe something nefarious is going on in that part of the park. It's been shut down for reasons of safety, yada yada yada. You don't know anything. You're just trying to have a good old time. And what we're actually going to use is the T-Rex paddock wall. This is a big, chunky wall, which means that I can I'm going to attach it sort of along there. And you know what, you could use it. You could absolutely use this for something that isn't the T-Rex paddock. That wouldn't really be a big deal. I just need, a lovely piece there without the thingamajiggy. So you can kind of just block this area off and just make it seem like this is something like another part of the park that you don't have access to, right? It's a shame that I've already done a T-Rex paddock bit. In retrospect, I wouldn't have done that, but we just need to bring the path up so it looks like it's meant to be there. Like I've thought about what I'm doing even a slightly bit. That would be lovely. And then we just need to block this door off. And thankfully, we've got a lovely jubbly thing to do just that. We could even pretend this is something else. Like we could put a sign down or something suggesting this is something else entirely. But let's get that door in there. And yeah, it's just blocked off. You're just not allowed in that part of the park. Fortunately, that is not all there is to do in this area, because over here on the right-hand side, of course, is a zip line. Now, let me think about this. The zipline needs to go that way. do these zip lines work? Okay, right, yeah. This is good. This is what I wanted. Now, unfortunately, there's no room here. So I guess you're going to have to come down here. I was really hoping you wouldn't see into this area. If you come down here, is that going to work for what I'm trying to do? It's going to be a little tighter than I expected. But, you know, we've all been there. What if I have a path coming down here instead? Zip line there, and then you go all the way over here. That would work better. This is... I was going to say I'm running out of room, but no. We can go all the way over there. We're okay, folks. Don't worry about it. Okay, so the zip line is fundamental to this build, right? So, you know... Let's get those on the same angle like that. And then as far as we can this way, you're not actually... So this is the fun bit. You're not actually ever going to get to that zip line over there. That's where the horror begins, essentially. Right. Okay. Let's grab more wall. The problem is, as I'm now seeing, that you are going to see inside this building on the left. Which is slightly annoying. So I'm going to have to fill that with stuff. I was hoping to not have to do stuff. Stuff is for nerds. But that's okay. I'm building this terribly, by the way. I'm putting this out there. It would look a lot better if I was putting any thought into this. But just shove the pieces together. And it's cool. Like, you're always going to have this big wall as you move through this area. Like... That feels like it's kind of excluding you from where you're meant to be, from the happy fun times everyone's having in this area down here. You're excluded from that and instead having to deal with the horror that's happening in the wider area. Doesn't matter that it's a funky shit. God, that's a weird... It really doesn't matter. And what I'm going to do to help it along, I'm going to kill all the trees inside here. Smokey the Bear would be absolutely devastated by what I'm doing right now. Is his name Smokey the Bear? I don't know. We don't have Smokey over here. Kill all this. And if we can test out the zipline now, that would be great. I'm very curious to see what this looks like. I'm not allowed. Sad. Okay. So, let's kill this one. I don't... Why kill? Why not some nicer terminology? Let's gently allow this zipline to go to the night where it wants to be. To move on into the darkness, into the umbra. It's actually slightly needs rotating just a little bit. I love you, Kaio, just in case you're watching. Alright, that's better. Okay, so it's a bit of a trek, a bit more than I would have liked. But you're going to walk down here, you're going to get this excessively tall zip line, you're going to head down here. Now, this area on the right will have to be built up because I need this zip line to be accessible as well. Okay, slightly different change, slight change of plan. The zipline's going to go... Oh wow, because of this I can put it anywhere. The zipline, the goal, probably needs to be more like there in reality. That's not going to work though. I promise I'm thinking about what I'm doing here. There is rhyme and reason behind this. I'm just trying to be coy about it until I can reveal it. The problem is that the goal for the zipline, the end, has to be in civilization, or this isn't going to work. I'm just trying to think about how I could include that in this. We could just extend this building out until it kind of... Yeah, I'm probably going to do that. I'm just going to... I'll be back in a sec. I'm basically going to remodel this so that this fenced off area here... no. I'll think of something. I'll be back in a sec. What the heck? Can you guys see this? What the hell is happening? Has anyone seen that effect before? What was that all about? It's still there. You can see that the game looks... What is going on? I have never seen that before in my life. That's wild looking. I was just going to time lapse through this entire thing, but I figure might have to pause there for a second to What that? Is it because I'm on the... I'm going to see what happens when I get off path mode. Let me just finish this little bit, which is proving to be an absolute pain, to say the least. Let's get in there. Oh, no, I've ruined it. Okay. Okay, I'm going to skip forward through all of that because this is basically just what we were doing over there, but slightly sloppier. I'm not going to pretend otherwise. The key for this area really is just that this has to look like a place where guests could go, like a viable place for guests to hang out if the park was functioning the way it should. Obviously, it's not done yet. We'll build this up to the right as our park develops in this area because the park itself, the idea is the park itself is going to carry on in this direction, and then you would eventually rejoin the park, but obviously you're in an area that you're not meant to be in, so maybe things aren't going to go so well. That's the long-term plan. And I'll probably have to fix the walls, but I mean, I think it looks fine from here, which is what matters. When you look at this side, yeah, a little bit funky, but you're not going to see that side ever, so it's absolutely fine. Now there is a couple more things we need to do. I want to grab a deco. I think we're going in here, and we're going to go scroll to the bottom of all of these. Nope, it's not this one. It's this one. Yeah, we've got all these ones without any pictures, and one of them is the ACU. And I figure if we just have the ACU, maybe next to the security bunker like that, and maybe a couple of maybe we'll have another one parked near the visitor center, and then maybe a couple of vehicles in the area, just kind of suggesting that there's something, you know, trucks driving along here, maybe heading towards the exit over there, just something suggesting that there are people there, but it's staff members, it's security, it's something that we are not particularly privy to at this point in time. I just saw the obviously we're gonna have to do something with the maintenance shed and like do a clever girl exhibit at some point. We'll definitely do that, and we'll include the raptor paddock and all that kind of jazz. It's a little bit more higgledy-piggledy than I expected it to be. Let me grab a large electrified I want like a gigantic electrified fence, like a big intimidating electrified fence. Let's have a little look here. Yeah, we'll use the classic Jurassic World Evolution 2 one. And that's just going to come out of here and go down to the bottom, like so. And what we'll do to finish that off, I mean, it kind of looks like a natural ending anyway, so we'll use our invisible fence. When I find it. I'll do. And actually, yeah, we'll use one that doesn't cut out the trees, even better. And then that's going to take you probably to around there. And then I think this does act as a wall, but just in case, I'm going to finish that off. So that is actually an exhibit right there. We've got a big intimidating fence on one side, and then on the other side, we're going to do roughly the same thing. However, we're going to use a baby fence. Baby fence? No, sorry. So that's going to come out along here. And then we'll do the same again. We'll grab ourselves... Man, the classic gate is a beauty. I want to include it. We'll have to include it on this bit over here because I can't not use it. It makes me so happy. Invisible wall. That's one we want. Thanks again to Cardenic, because it's a truly invisible wall rather than the sort of semi-invisible wall that we tend to have. So the idea I had, basically... I know it's a little bit cheesy. I'm not going to pretend otherwise. Is that, you know, so the idea is that typically you would either enter this area, walk through this gate here, we'll have to do some decoration in the area, or you would walk down here instead, and again, we'll build this area up, and you'd go on the zip line, and then you'd land here, and then you'd walk inside this way, right? There's a doorway over here, this takes you inside, and you would then explore this area and kind of then go on to the rest of the park, which is down here. Obviously, the area is shut off, but what they forgot to do in time kind of thing, or they've kind of forced you into that direction for nefarious purposes, is towards the zip line rather than this part of the park. This part's been shut down, but the zip line is still active. So you, being the intrepid explorer that you are, you hop on the zip line and you go over this first exhibit, which will put some pretty things in here. It'll be a nice herbivore exhibit, and then this is going to be a carnivore exhibit. And the idea is beneath part of the zip line, like here maybe, I want a bit of a clearing. So, and like I said, this is going to require some daftness, but if we click our zip line and ride it, woo woo, you could even say that this is a completely viable area still. Like, you're allowed over there, but it's for tech people. Anyways, you're going over, you see the herbivores, you're very happy, you see the carnivores, and then, oh no! And you sort of, the idea is then we'll do a transition, and you'll fall into the carnivore habitat. I think Camp Cretaceous did something like this, but anyways, I'm doing it now. So you fall off the zip line, you crash, you break something a little bit, so you kind of, rather than the park randomly shoveling you towards danger, I kind of wanted it to feel like, you know, it's a terrible accident that's thrown you into this situation, basically. Obviously, there's no way I can force any of this stuff without editing and stuff like that, but that's the idea. So you've fallen in, and you know already that you're in a carnivore habitat. It's a little bit too prominent, but I just want a little clearing spot there that you can see, and then you're going to start to work your way around here. And obviously you're going to check this area here, maybe try to find a fence, but there's no way inside that you can spot, no gate. And then you'll come around here, you'll find a classic gate, and then you'll begin your journey, and you'll be, well, I'm going to have to block this off somehow, I don't know. We're going to block that off, and then this is going to lead into the rest of the park. But the rest of the park is shut down for good reason, and that's when we can get into the exhibits as well, we can get to the other things that happen. But that is the general plan that I had in mind from the start, and what we've been building towards for this entire bloody video. So, we're going to hit J, we're going to L, there we go, figured that out eventually, and we're going to build a little exhibit here. I'm thinking, I've done a lot of sauropods, so I'm going to stick a couple brachys in. Brachys work really well. You want dinosaurs that feel, I don't know, prominent, big, beautiful. I want something dramatic and pleasant for this area. Probably going to have to thin the trees out a little bit as well. Yeah, it should feel like a proper habitat, and we'll do some viewing areas over here and just make it feel like it's meant to be there, basically. Maybe some parasaurs as well. We'll herd of parasaurs there. It's a little small, but whatever, they're only pixels, aren't they? So I'm just going to clear the tree line a little bit, mainly in the herbivore one though. Quite a lot in the herbivore one actually, now that I think about it. And we're going to get a little bit of water in there. A little bit of texture work. Some sand. A little bit of whatever this is, a little bit of Rocco. And yeah, so you go over that, you feel nice and happy. Oh, wow, beautiful moment. And then, oh, danger. So let's get some viewing galleries on here. I've got to remember to click the control button. I keep forgetting. It's a beautiful button. I did it over here. But if you hit control when you place, boop, you can place more. It doesn't sound like a big deal, but it's kind of a big deal. They added it in the last major patch, and I completely forgot about it until someone very nicely reminded me in the last video. So, just need to use my brain for a second. So, terrifying concept. I wish you could turn off snapping entirely, like with the path. If I could turn path snapping off, it would actually make me so happy. It's unreal. It would make life just a bajillion times easier. But anyways, we'll build this area up. I'm going to do a little cut again. We'll build this area up and so it looks like a proper viewing area, like a proper establishment. Like something that you could feasibly take. It shouldn't feel like you're doing anything wrong by taking the zip line. But oh, and we're also going to move this fence. This is too... It shouldn't be invisible for a start. What we should have is a large, heavy, spooky electric gate. Maybe along here. And this is what you're looking for, right? This is your way out as far as you're concerned. And in that we'll have the classic gate. And that's what you'll take to get through to the next bit. So we'll do that. You're going through like the wilderness bit. And then it's not going to be anything too scary. Maybe it's like a Dilophosaurus or a Troodon or something. Then you enter this bit and we'll mix things up for this area somehow. Or maybe we can pull this out so you enter the park like a maintenance area, you know, like a, you know, this is the main bit and then you'd have like a back channels bit here where the maintenance people work and something's broken out there, and then you head off into the rest of the park and maybe you rejoin this section in the next part of it, kind of thing. It's all a bit higgledy-piggledy, but I'm going to make it work. So I'm just going to, oh, I tell you what, let's grab our beloved invisible wall. Bring that all the way down here. Is that connected? Beautifully. Right, so I'll just develop these 2 areas, and then we'll pick it up for the end, and we'll pick our carnivores and stuff. I'll see you in a sec. Okay, so I've built the areas up a little bit. This is just like a long walkway now with all those Jurassic Park things on the right-hand side, a little parasaur statues in front of all the visiting areas, because we've got so many brachy statues already, and a little shopping bit down here at the end. So you go over, there's some feces, fun for the whole family, and there's your parasaurs and brachys, and then you head into danger, and then eventually you're going to work your way through the forest. So we need to have a bit of a path. Not too much of a path, but a bit of a path. And what we're going to use is a dirt... a regular dirt path. I just want this will kill the trees, but I think that's okay. What do you look like? I think the people are gonna need like a idea of where to go, otherwise it's not gonna work because it's a dense area with no logical way to go through. But I want to make sure it's curvy and like so. So you will have a bit of a path to follow, but the rest of it is going to be so dense with trees that that should be very, very small, you know, happiness or something. I don't know. I know what I mean. I know what I mean. Right, so let's get some water in there because, you know, it's an exhibit at the end of the day. Maybe it's an exhibit that's not open to the public. You know, there's no viewing. Actually, just to lend a bit of credence to the whole idea, let's put a viewing platform in here. Just viewing, kind of blocking my billboard, which I now can't pick up. Oh well. Viewing platform, just viewing the area. It doesn't really look like it is. What if we get another one? Actually, what if I take that, move that here instead? There you go. Just so it looks like, you know, there would be a way to view the dinosaurs in this exhibit and that it's not just there to murder our guests. That sounds like a better idea. And then we want a couple of carnivore feeders, because those are things you're going to see. They're going to spook you a little bit. You know, you're going to land and you're going to see the carnivore feeder pretty close by. And also it'll attract our dinosaurs to the pathway. Oh, you guys need food. Kind of forgot about that. You need ground. Oh, who doesn't need ground nut? Everyone loves ground nut. That should be enough to stop them starving, I think. What do you need, buddy? No, nothing. You're fine. They'll be fine. They'll be fine. They'll be fine. Let's make some Monolophosauruses. Right. Mono. I got mono. Mono's maybe a little bit too spooky. It'll be fine. It's just gonna random. I rather than just clicking it every time, I can do this. I can get 9 of them instantly. Do I want 9? Is 9 too many? I think 6 probably. Probably about right. Release via airlift. Let's drag all the... And also, it's a little bit of excitement. You know, we get to find out what the colours are at the time, which is always cool. Just thinking. Thinking got me drinking. That maybe... I also like the idea of Mr. DNA popping up all the time, and he's like the signifier of your doom, basically. Like, so if you see Mr. DNA outside of something, you know that that's the way you have to go. He's like, he's telling you the direction your character has to go in, but he's also telling you, yeah, but you're gonna die. Basically, he is the harbinger of doom, as we said. I think we'll keep that up as a thing throughout the entire. I remember doing that with like a seagull in some game once. I can't remember what it was. But either way, that's a good little thing. Like you figure out that, okay, what I need to do is look for Mr. DNA. He tells me the way to go. So I saw him. You're not gonna see him here, but this way you can't go that way anyway. So you figure, oh, we'll go down this way. Tell you what, let's just. Are the monos in? Nearly. I think there's only 1 left. Or 10 billion left. Oh no, there we go. Right. Let's get these sent over. Pew pew pew. Deliver chimp. That's what it always looks like to me. And I will skip forward through this little bit, and then we will give it a go. But I'm glad about this. This was a pain in the ass. I wasn't excited to build this area up, if I'm totally honest with you, but it now feels more like one consistent park. That just happens to have a big ass wall. It's blending this bit with the next bit that's going to prove to be a struggle. We don't have tons of room until we get here, and then this can all be whatever we dream up. You know, this whole area here. It's not even that long, but it should be smaller from now on as well. This was always going to be the biggest area in the park, you know? I'll just keep coming up with excuses. It's going to be fine. Don't worry about it. Okay, I've made some changes. Quite a lot of changes. Just in terms of trees and stuff. So, whoa, bonk. Blacked out. You've woken up. You're dazed, confused. You whip out your flashlight. And there's really no indication about where to go. You see a glimmer of light there in the distance. And you see thick trees. A swathe of thick trees surrounding you. So you figure, okay, well, we'll head in the one direction that isn't covered in trees. I think it's okay that this isn't the densest forest, you know, compared to like last time, because it's the first thing we're going to experience. Obviously, we're going to go back through the forest later on at some point anyway. Probably something a little spookier. But you're hiding for now because there's some spooky Monolophosaurus in the clearing ahead of you, and you get inside the rock for a little bit because you're that kind of person. Start to make your move. Just swing it around. Just trying to survive, baby. Trying to survive. You just assume that they're like the alien, that they don't care about the flashlight. Anyways, they're out of the way. You get moving. You figure, well, we'll just follow the clearing. Carcasses of meat spook you a little further. You figure, just follow the lighter tree density. You see compies bounding around in the grass ahead of you. Mist curling in from those dense trees at the side. You see the light, and maybe you head over to the light. Unfortunately, there's no way through. So you're back to the path. No markings on the ground or anything. I just kind of wanted to have clear. So basically, I've swapped back to the invisible path that we used last time, the pass-through path that Chaodenic brought out. That's why there's no indication of anything on the ground. I just wanted it to be a logical thought process, and as in, those trees aren't as thick. Let's head in that direction, kind of thing. You know, everywhere else is pretty impenetrable. Let's go this way. So you just walk along. I think all the dinosaurs are back there, if I'm totally honest with you. You kind of just keep heading for the clearings. It's dense and misty and spooky every other direction you can go in, so you just got to keep going forward. And anytime there's a break in the tree line like this right here, weave your way through the bushes and you see some light. That's promising. Let's try to head towards there. You're going to have to slink your way through this rotting? Water doesn't rot. Some dirty, murky water, you know, infesting you, clogging your clothes up so you can't move as fast, stuff like that. But you see some light. You're feeling good, and yes, there's a light ahead, and there's a gate. Beautiful sanctuary, possible escape. But he's waiting for you. And who knows what lurks beyond yonder gates. Maybe this time we just dense up the forest much more. And maybe make it like a straight shoot, so they basically have to go straight forward so they can navigate through it. But basically, you'd walk through. I kind of want to get people... We can do a denser forest here. So you get through this bit. You can see the path there. It's quite prominent from the sky. Dense it up here. Because you know what? They can't go left. They can't go right. There's the coast. They can only go forward anyway, right? So I think it's okay to make this near enough impenetrable to get through and have people just sort of weave between the trees. We'll have the hatchery come out here, and we'll have something else in here around the hatchery. Maybe even contained in the hatchery, like not escaping. Like you walk around the path, but you see it. You see something a little spooky. And okay, so this is my plan for the next episode. Walk with me here. You reach the hatchery. The hatchery's got its fence surrounding it like so. And there's nothing inside it, right? So you walk forward. Maybe there's something around here. Could be... Maybe there's a break in this fence and there's more Like, that could be a nice thing. We'd have a little break in the fence here as well, so that when you're walking through, you think you finally found sanctuary, you finally escaped the Monolophosaurus and the compies, but there's a break in the fence. So you know that the area you're about to walk into probably has more of the carnivores in it. You get to the hatchery. There's a fence around the hatchery. Nothing inside it. Nothing inside the fence. The fence is empty. But the hatchery is going to link with this bit here, and there's a break in the hatchery fence, basically. So you know that something was hatched here, and it's in this area here, this next part where you're going. You know that something has broken out of the hatchery enclosure and got into the rest of the park, and that is when you enter the rest of the park. So you walk through here, probably dodging more dinosaurs, see the hatchery, and then we'll build this wall out, this wall here. We'll build this wall out across here, have a gap in it somehow. Not sure what I'll do with that. And then have you walk into this bit, and then we'll have an area here, like the back area or like part of the park further, and that'll have whatever was in here. And maybe some cages and stuff. I don't know. We'll think about something. Feel free to throw some suggestions down below. This all took a lot longer than I expected, but I think it was necessary to make the idea work. I know it seemed a bit weird today, but when I can do some editing, do some sound effects and stuff, when we do the final walkthrough at the end of the build, this I think will work really well. I think it'll be a really interesting introduction to the area. So I'm going to stand by it. I'm going to assume that it's a good idea, even if it's not, and we'll see how it goes in the future. But you can do anything you want with a flashlight and some big trees, I tell you. Right, that was Horror Park episode 2. So next episode, hatchery, back area of the park maybe. You know, I'm open to suggestions. Let me know what species you want to see. We have to ramp things up, you know. I think like a scientific testing area later on with the Indominus and the Scorpios and stuff like that. It'd be good to mess around with the lagoon. We could even do... I definitely want to do like an aviary that you drive through as well. We'll have to get in a car at some point. That was always the plan with the last Horror Park. And then maybe we can rig up the... there's a boat tour ride. We could include that as well. That might be really cool and have like a Spinosaurus in that. But until next time, thank you very much for joining me. I'll see you lovely folks very soon. Cheers much up as always. Bye-bye.